Today, we are diving deep into one of the most colorful, energetic celebrations you'll find anywhere on Earth, Thingyan, the Myanmar Water Festival. It's a time of just incredible energy and really deep tradition, and it's all centered around the simple but powerful act of splashing water. You know that feeling when you just wish you could get a clean slate? A real chance to wash away all the negativity, all the mistakes of the past year, and just start completely fresh? Well, that very idea, that's the beating heart of the whole Thingyan festival.
So, while we all know it for the massive water fights, the name itself tells a much deeper story. Thingyan actually comes from an old Sanskrit word, sankantari, which means transition. It marks the exact astrological moment the new year begins, making it a really sacred time for both physical and spiritual renewal.
Okay, so to understand where all this water comes from, we actually have to look up to the heavens. You see, the origin of Thingyan isn't just cultural, it's cosmic. It's rooted in this epic, mythological bet between gods.
The legend tells of this incredibly high-stakes wager between two super powerful celestial beings, Thangyat, who was the king of the gods, and Brahma, the god of creation. Now, what they bet on is kind of lost to time, but the outcome? Well, the outcome was going to alter the entire cosmos.
So Brahma lost the bet, and the price he had to pay was his head. Thangyaman decapitated him. But this created a massive cosmic problem. I mean, this wasn't just any head. It was so powerful it could literally destroy the universe.
Think about it. If the head touched the Earth, the whole planet would burn up. If it touched the oceans, they would boil away. The solution was pretty ingenious. 7 celestial maidens, they're traditional spirits in Myanmar called knots, were given the task of carrying the head, passing it from one to the next just once a year. And that exact perilous moment, the instant the head is passed, that is Thingyan. That's the transition to the new year.
And that is what brings us all the way back to the water. The splashing isn't just for fun, you see. It's a physical symbol of purification. It's all about cleansing the sins, the grudges, all the accumulated dirt of the old year, so that everyone can step into the new year reborn, with a fresh start and a peaceful heart.
All right, so now that we get the myth, we can start to see how it shapes the modern festival. And what's so fascinating is that Thingyan is really a celebration of two very distinct but totally complementary halves.
On one side, you have just pure, unadulterated joy in the streets. You've got the famous water splashing, which is a welcome relief in the summer heat, and you've got the loud, rhythmic chanting of Thangyat. It's this form of satirical poetry blasting from huge stages. But then, on the other side, you have these quiet, beautiful acts of reverence. People go to monasteries to seek spiritual merit, they'll wash the hair of their elders as a sign of deep respect, and they perform acts of kindness, like releasing captured birds and fish back into the wild.
And let me tell you, every single one of your senses is engaged during this time. You can basically define the whole season by its signature scent and its signature sound. The scent is from the golden Padauk flower, which, get this, only blooms during the first rains of Thingyan, making it the ultimate symbol of the new year. And the sound? That's Thangyat. It's like the soul of the festival. Witty, funny chants that offers social commentary and a lot of humor.
But look, to truly understand any culture, you have to understand its food, right? And the food of Thingyan tells a story that goes so far beyond just flavor.
The traditional foods of this festival are so much more than just a celebration. They are basically edible expressions of the festival's core values. Each dish we're about to look at embodies a key principle: teamwork, adapting to the climate, and a nationwide spirit of just unconditional giving. First up is a treat called Matlon Ye Pa. These are these delightful little glutinous rice balls filled with sweet palm jaggery. But the magic here isn't just in the taste, it's in the making. It's an act of pure community teamwork. One person rolls the dough, another stuffs in the sweet filling, and a third boils them until they float to the top. This dish literally cannot be made by one person alone.
But here's a little insider tip. You gotta eat them with a bit of caution. As a classic Thingyan prank, friends will secretly stuff a few of the rice balls with a fiery hot green chili instead of the sweet sugar. It's a tear-inducing surprise for sure, but it is all part of the fun.
Next, we have a dish that was literally born from necessity: Thingyan rice. Thingyan takes place at the peak of Myanmar's hottest season, and this dish is the perfect antidote.
It's cooked rice that's submerged in ice-cold water that has been uniquely scented with beeswax smoke. It gives it this cool, fragrant aroma that's just incredible. It's a brilliant, delicious example of culinary climate adaptation.
And finally, there's a practice called Satuditha. Now, this isn't just one dish, it's a profound tradition of what you could call radical charity. It's deeply connected to the Buddhist idea of making merit. Entire neighborhoods will pool their money together to set up these roadside stalls offering free food and drinks to absolutely anyone who passes by. It's like a nationwide economy of generosity, where giving freely earns you spiritual grace for the new year.
So, we have the cosmic myth. We have the huge street parties, the quiet moments of reverence, and the food that tells a story. What does it all add up to? What is the true spirit of Thingyan?
Well, when you peel back all of these incredible layers, what you find is that Thingyan is ultimately a celebration of two really profound and powerful ideas: renewal and generosity. Put simply, it's the act of letting go of the past so you can build a kinder, cooler, and more connected future. That, right there, is the lesson at the heart of every splash of water, every shared meal, and every quiet prayer.
And that really leaves us with one final thought. If you had the power of Thingyan's water, what part of the past, your own, or even the world's, would you choose to cleanse, to build a better future?